Hey, I'm Adam Shepard. I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing for Adam Audio here in the US, and I'm joined by Josh Colby, our sales manager. And we're here today to talk about the A series. We're going to be answering some of the most common questions that we're getting from you. So one of the first questions that we've been seeing a lot is, what is the difference between the A7X and the A7V? Both phenomenal monitors. That A7X has been with us for over 10 years now. When looking at the new iteration of the A7X, the A7V, when you look at them on paper, the A7V does extend a little bit lower, but from a spec standpoint, there's not a huge difference there. But the difference comes in with a lot of the new features that we're putting in these A-series monitors, starting with the onboard DSP platform. And first I want to talk about the voicings. The voicings that we have in the A7V and in all of the A-series, there's two of them that we've built in, and then also the ability to control that monitor via the A-Control software. So starting with a button in the back, you can access a UNR voicing, which is Uniform Natural Response. You can also access a pure setting.
Starting with UNR, that voicing is a curve of how our engineers wanted that monitor to sound. So it's just the best representation of the specs of that specific monitor. Pure is as flat as that monitor can possibly be. So this is great for critical listening, when you're mixing or mastering. And the third setting is under our external parameter, which gives you access to A-Control's advanced EQ or SonarWorks Sound AD reference.
Outside of the voicings and that DSP platform, we've got a couple other differences between A7X and A7V. So the new A7V has had a complete cabinet redesign. We've got integrated reflex ports. We also have a brand new woofer material, our MLM woofers. There's more information on that in our tutorial videos. But in general, we're talking a very rigid, a very light, and a really great woofer material. We're seeing better performance compared to our carbon fiber woofers of the past. Lastly, we have mountability now in the A-series, which allows for flexibility in immersive setups, which we'll definitely talk about later. Adding all these new features up, what does this mean? A7X compared to A7V sonically, it's really hard because you can't hear it through this video. But what we're hearing from our users is a very clear and defined lower mid-range, and also a more open high end. That's kind of sonically what we've been hearing as far as folks who have adopted the A7V now and are using them in their studios.
One cool new feature with the A-series is you can now rotate the tweeters. This allows for flexibility in our ever-changing environments, different rooms, facilities. For example, if you have a desk that has a tall meter bridge on it, you're using A7Vs, that tweeter is gonna be well above your ear. One thing you can do is you can put those horizontal, rotate that tweeter, and now you've got a more directional listening position from the tweeters to your ears.
All right, what about the actual physical action of rotating that tweeter? We get a lot of questions as to whether or not it voids your warranty, all that kind of stuff. Why don't we walk through how to do it and how to do it safely?
Yeah. All right, so firstly, your warranty is not voided by this because it's a key feature of the A-series. So first, pop a piece of tape over that waveguide. Because the tweeter is magnetized, you don't want any of those screws, your Allen wrench falling in there and damaging the tweeter. So next, unscrew those 4 screws, pop the tweeter out, rotate it, pop those screws back in, and you're up and running. We do recommend using a handheld Allen wrench because using anything that is electric can create too much torque, which can damage the current threadings that are already there.
Another question that we're getting a lot is the choice between the A7V and the A8H, which are kind of our two top monitors in the A-series line. This is the first time that we've had two midfields in kind of that mid-range A-series. The A7V to start with, this is your more traditional midfield monitor, dual 7-inch, it's gonna be a little bit punchier. This is gonna fit that more traditional midfield space that we've seen in maybe more of a mid-size studio, mid-size room. The A8H, on the other hand, this is a little bit more flexible of a monitor. It does have a little bit lower extension than the A7V, but what I think is the coolest part of this monitor, and what I like to talk to folks about, is the fact that the A8H really bridges the gap between a near field and a midfield. We're finding that we can actually put it a little bit closer than a traditional midfield would be and still get that great performance. Immersive. It's a conversation that is happening quite a bit. We're having folks reach out to us talking about immersive setups with Adam monitors, and one of the questions we're getting a lot is, can I already use the stereo setup that I have? So what would you suggest as far as that goes?
Yeah, of course. So we first recommend just call us. Every setup is unique to everyone's own individual spaces. So overall though, we recommend uniformity. In general, just keeping it within the brand, and even more in depth, keeping it by the same series. Some of the reasons why we do recommend this is, for one, you want to ensure all your monitors in an immersive setup have a similar voicing. The second issue you can run into is phasing issues. So if you have different monitors from different brands or different lines, they could be out of phase with each other too. So those are some key points to really look at, reasons why we just say, just give us a call.
So another question that we get quite a bit is about calibration, and this is a really fun thing to talk about now because the A-series has a lot of options for calibration, and you can really calibrate based on your level of expertise and also based on your use case and your environment. A-series really has it all for you. So let's start with room adaptation modes. First thing we suggest, make sure you don't do any calibration activities until after you've burnt in your monitors. Starting with probably the easiest calibration you can do, there are 4 bands on the back of the monitors: bass, desk, presence, and treble. A second calibration option is the advanced mode in A control. That advanced mode is a lot more in depth. You get 6 bands of parametric EQ, and you can really dial those monitors in. With these 2 options that I just gave, it's not really a band-aid for bad room acoustics, but we're actually offering something with A-series that is a little bit even more in depth and can fix some of those major problems in your room, and that is the SonarWorks Sound ID integration. Maybe Josh, you can talk a little bit about that.
As we all know, with SonarWorks, it's used in either a plugin or as a system-wide application on your desktop. Cool feature with A control is you can now embed that calibration file from your monitors right into the monitor itself.
So to make this even easier, we're actually offering a 60-day trial of SonarWorks Sound ID, and it's in the My Atom section of the website. So if you purchase an A-series product, you can download SonarWorks on us. So in reality, I mean, this is 5 questions. If you have other questions that you'd like us to address, please let us know, leave some comments. There's a lot of content. If you haven't explored our content here on YouTube, please do so. Or if you have more specific questions about your room or your setup, please feel free to reach out. We're always happy to talk.
So if you made it this far, as you know, we are doing a giveaway for a pair of A4Vs. All the information can be found below in the description, and we're gonna have it until midnight Central Time.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you found this information helpful, subscribe for more things like this in the future.